Disney, I don't understand their logic. It makes no sense to me. They continue to just steer directly into the culture wars in the dumbest possible way. Listen, if they want to do this, that's fine with me. I mean, we're about to invest $100 million in children's programming at Daily Wire Plus. So if they want to encourage people to, come and watch our programming instead of theirs, I'm all for it. It makes us richer. It makes our company more lucrative. But I don't understand what they are doing. According to DailyWire.com, Disney theme parks have made a subtle new change to the name of traditional cast members in the woke entertainment giant's never-ending quest to cater to left-wing extremists. The Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique at Magic Kingdom Park in Florida and Disneyland Resort in California will reopen on August 25th after being shuttered during the pandemic. Park employees in the boutique used to be referred to as Fairy Godmothers in training because they were women. Now they will be called Fairy Godmothers Apprentices. Gender neutral. Per the park website, the makeover experience caters to young guests ages 3 to 12, helping them transform into either princesses or knights. I mean, I've done this with my now 8-year-old daughter. It's really, really cute. But according to the page, quote, with the wave of a magic wand plus a few hands-on tricks of the trade, our Fairy Godmothers Apprentices will pamper and primp your child until they look storybook stunning. The Disney-themed blog Streaming the Magic described the name change by saying, quote, this way, cast members that might not identify as female can still be part of the process and dress up and style the children without having to refer to themselves as a female Disney character. Because that's... Okay, here is the stupidest part of what Disney is doing here. All of Disneyland, okay, and I'm a Disneyland devotee, or at least I was. Okay, I was a Disneyland annual pass holder in California, so was my wife, so were my kids. The beautiful part of Disneyland is that when you walk into Disneyland, you are walking into the movies. You are walking into a bunch of people who are playing characters. The characters are defined for them. Now imagine that you walked in there, and the person who's playing Cinderella was really just Bob, and he didn't really want to play Cinderella, he was just Bob. And you walk in, and it's just a dude with a beard, and he's like, hey, I'm Bob. You're like, wait, I didn't come here to see Bob, I came here to see Cinderella. I don't understand what's happening. Well, Disney has decided to go along with this idiocy, which is insane. Disney is one of the most restrictive places to work on planet Earth until the last 30 seconds. My mom used to work at Disney Channel, okay? It was a very, very restrictive place to work. Disney had a very strong corporate culture in which it was your way, or it was their way or the highway. That was what it was. If you were going to play a part as a Disney princess, you had to look a certain way. Like, for example, a Disney princess. There were no 300-pound Cinderellas. Forget about gender. There were no 300-pound Cinderellas. There was a woman who looked kind of like Cinderella with heavy makeup wearing a blonde wig. Right? That's what it was. And if you were dressed up as one of the characters on Main Street, you were supposed to look like you were from the 1920s. If you were dressed up as Mary Poppins, you were supposed to look like Mary Poppins. There's none of this crap about how you dress up like Mary Poppins, but you identify as a dude, and therefore we're not supposed to call you Mary Poppins. We're supposed to call you MX Poppins or some such nonsense. It's amazing. I mean, they're literally the entire purpose of the park is to exist in a fantasy world in which you play a character, but we're supposed to believe that you can no longer play the character at all. I have a question. Are we now saying that non-gender dualistic people can't play women? So let's say that we have a non-binary woman, right? A woman biologically who claims that she is non-binary. Are we saying she's no longer allowed to play a woman in the movies? Because that's effectively what you're doing at Disneyland. Right? At Disneyland, you could let's say you identify as non-binary. But when you go in for your job, you have to play one of the Fairy Godmothers training people. You have to be a Fairy Godmother in training. What's so bad about that? You are playing a part. I thought this is what acting was all about. It's so stupid. And people are quipping fairy god birthing persons. That's right. But this, again, there's nothing particularly shocking about this, given the fact that Disney diversion and inclusion manager Vivian Ware bragged openly in a whole company meeting about how the company had eliminated mentions of ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls in its theme parks to create a magic moment for children and adults who don't identify with traditional gender roles. By the way, it's not just Disney. Amazon recently put out a movie version of Cinderella that starred Camila Cabello, I believe is her name. And the fairy godmother was played by Billy Porter, a dude wearing a dress. Which, I mean, frankly, I have no interest in showing that to my kids because I have no interest in my kids being taught that gender-bending dress codes are an active good in our society. But Cinderella's doing that. I mean, in a movie directed at kids. The full-scale endorsement of violation of traditional norms and precepts with regard to gender in places directed at kids is totally crazy. It's so crazy. And again, on a business level, I'm not going to complain. On a societal level, I'm going to complain. On a business level, you want to just throw all of your money over here to Daily Wire Plus, I am more than happy to take your money. But it's demonstrative of just how far left all of our cultural arbiters have moved. I know what you're thinking. It's time to binge some more Ben Shapiro videos. Well, you are right. You should. But first, like and subscribe. Perfect. I'll see you in the next video.